Let me remind you that everything you want is done better than you can imagine. Source says yes to whatever you want. So those desires that you have on your heart are done better than you can imagine. And you want to go back to that reminder often. Now, as you're moving towards those things that you want, you may be presented with circumstances, things that you don't have control over at the moment. You know, people call it, like they say they're quantum leaping or they're jumping into a new timeline. I call it chapters, only because I've been through things. I look at it more of a chapter. So I was in a chapter where I had very dominant circumstances. And those dominant circumstances I used to apply my practices, which was just using them to relax. So none of those circumstances got worse in that chapter, because what I continued to do was focus on where I had control. I didn't have control over the circumstances. If I kept on focusing on them and worrying about them and getting upset about them, which I did, but I kept using them to relax, so I was winning in that, they weren't getting worse. What happened is that when I moved into a new chapter, those circumstances were just working themselves out. It was like I had more money, I had more time, I had more leeway to actually move out of those circumstances. So they worked themselves out. It was very obvious what I did worked. My practices worked. What you're doing is you're taking your focus as much as you can. They're going to be there. You're going to use them to relax your body, and they're not going to get worse, and you redirect your focus to where you have control. So I had control on being creative with the little bit of money that I did have. I had control over being a mother to my kids. Again, by doing that, by staying calm, quiet, and relaxed through my circumstances, I moved into what other people would call a new timeline. I call them chapters, and it was a new chapter. And in that chapter, I have more money, I have more freedom, and I had a different relationship with the things that I used to do. It was easier, it was more fun, I was lighter. I released so many limitations, but I still stuck to the practices. It doesn't end. But what I'm saying is that it does get better, and life does get to be more fun. You will keep moving into those new chapters, new timelines, and everything you want will manifest better than you can imagine.